What's up? I'm Chris here with the MIRA program, big D in the kids table.
Yeah.
So a little rundown of what we do. We're the MIRA program. We're a local school. We do music industry reporting arts. So we are doing production, composition, theory. Everybody comes in, it's a 2-year degree. We're trying to make it into a bachelor's degree and eventually a master's program. Along the lines of wholesale, stuff like that. We're more of a public school, so a little bit easier to get into. A lot cheaper, stuff like that. We got a lot of good teachers, mastering engineers. Production guy is the guy from Survivor, who is their production manager. Road guy still goes on tour and does all that stuff. So you're working with some of the best. And what I do is I'm part of the MIRA Guild. We are the face of MIRA program. We want to connect kids in the program, kids that are coming, want to learn about the school, what to get in, and how to get in and stuff. And we're trying to bring the bands that are doing things like the Warped Tour and show them how much hard work it does take. And it's not just about getting into school and saying, hey, I have a degree, sign me, I'm your new roadie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're trying to portray what it takes to get into it. And Warped Tour is definitely one of the things where, like, I've seen bands come from the bottom and start here, coming in for free, and making their way through the ranks, and then now they're off doing their own thing. So coming from an artist standpoint, you guys have been on here for a while now. You guys
have coming 8th or 9th Warped Tour.
Yeah, so I know I've been coming to Warped Tour a long time. See you guys all the time. You're obviously one of my favorites. We share the same, hometown. So, what advice can you give people? For example, like, how important is an engineer for like a band like you guys?
Engineer?
Yeah, sound engineer, stuff like that.
I've definitely found that you definitely have to find your right guy, because you could have a guy with the fancy walls and the fancy this and the fancy that, all painted orange, different colors, because that's kind of like a standard look for a studio. And great little Ramones posters framed nicely, but he might not be able to really he might not know the craft as well than somebody who doesn't quite have all those things yet. So, not to say that engineers with actual studios aren't as good as renegade ones, but more the point that you have to find the right engineer. Yeah. It's not the stuff behind him, it's really who his talent is. And once you find a good one, stick with him.
Yeah, I mean, especially for us, we have, we do the ska punk thing, we like to experiment with different things. We usually bring in a lot of instruments. We have the horns anyway. That some engineers, some live engineers really don't know how to handle, you know what I mean? We'll bring in like keys and strings, whatever, extra vocals, things like that. And the engineer really has to be good at finding a spot for each of them.
Yeah. Little frequency.
Yeah. And stuff that I don't understand at all, but we do know when we find someone who has trouble with it versus someone who really nails it. It's not just drums, bass, guitar, or vocals all the time. You got to know how to work with everything.
And someone who meshes with you, like, unfortunately, some engineers develop a personality where, like, maybe one band rubbed them the wrong way.
Yep.
So somehow they will transcend that one person to all band members. So you got to really find an engineer too that isn't over it or too curmudgeon-y, too you want someone who speaks your language. And as an artist, you have to give them a chance. For a great example, on our new record, we did it at Mad Oak with the guy Joe and Benny. And I walked in kind of like a new babysitter. At first you're like, I don't know who this person is. You know what I mean? But I try to be open-minded and wait for it to start really moving together. And the greatest guys in the world. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to do what you expect from them, and you should expect what you are doing to them. Back.
Now, it brings up a great point. We strive in our program, if you're a studio track-minded type person, there's a way for you to go. Me, I'm a live sound engineer, so that's what I do, live sound.
Yeah.
You can intern in both places, but what they do is they mix it up. You have to do both. You have to experience both. You may not necessarily like the studio, but they try to make that and show people that, hey, look, it is this industry and it's tough, but sometimes even you just gotta kind of know what you're good at, but don't flaunt it, and don't hold a grudge, like you said, and come in with it and not really even thinking about music as far as genres or anything like that. Think about it as, hey, I want to make the best sound that I can.
Yeah.
You know, it's tough, and I've come across some interning. I've come across people that don't even want us there. And, you know, some guys are like, I've been to shows where intern this show, it sounds awesome, and the next show doesn't sound good because they don't like the genre. You know, and it's so it's got to be tough for you guys as bands too, especially the money that it costs to record. And it's like, do you take time to test people out? Do you wait? You know, stuff like that.
I definitely think every engineer should tackle live sound and studio sound, because if you're going to be a master at sound, then you have to know you have to be able to tackle both. I mean, you have to be able to say that you're a master in both, and that's what every engineer is striving for. You have to be a master in it, because the person who is a master in it is the preferred person than the person who just dabbles in it. And then real quick, I suggest every engineer from live to studio to read books on psychology. Like half an engineer's or 1/4 of an engineer's job is to make sure that the people who are laying down their art that they put aside to make their life, it's like their most important thing in the world. And I don't mean like make them comfy, make sure they're this or that, but just make sure they are running themselves in a way that makes the whole project perfect. You know, and gotta read basic psychology for you. Yeah.
So, you know, our thing was, you know, we have to take the education class, and we take, you know, ethics and all this kind of stuff, because it comes back to, you know, the sound guy as well, making sure that, you know, the artists are taken care of, and that they're in a mood where, you know, they don't want to be like, man, this sound guy really sucks, so we're just gonna get this over with and be done with it, you know, stuff like that. So it is a big, you know, part of it, and they do strive to teach that. You know, it is a tough industry, but try to be nice, at least. You know, the least you can do, because without you guys doing your struggle, we have our struggles too, but without you, we don't make money. We don't do what we want to do. So we strive for. Have you guys come up? You just pretty much roots and came up, or do you have any type of like schooling or anything like that?
Most of us went to Berklee College of Music.
Okay, awesome.
I'm a double major of music business and music engineering production. And double major.
So you can make it.
And 4.5 years and dyslexic.
Yeah, one of our teachers there. He actually, his name's Dave Greenberg. He graduated from there. Actually, our dean graduated from Berklee as well. And he was one of the first guys. He's like, I got the Pro Tools on discs from back when you guys weren't even born yet, that Berklee had, I guess, in the beginning and stuff like that. So, but you know, we're around these people as well, and they know, you know, and it's just, it's awesome to see that you guys, you know, you went to school.
You went to New England Conservatory, and Derek went to like drums are awesome. I don't know what it was, but it's like you're an awesome drummer or something like that.
So, you know, because everybody's like, oh, well, you know, you got to learn it from the streets and stuff like that. But I've done a lot of shows. I've learned a lot. But I've also learned even more in this program, because, you know, we're not only around industry people, but when we intern, we're around them too, and you learn different tricks and, you know, all this kind of stuff. But you're learning it in a way where it's formal, and it's like, here it is, do what you want with it. Because sometimes it is hard, like, to come up and work and follow some sound guy around, and if he's a dick, he's not going to want to say, here you go.
And also, as far as education with music being street or school, it's not black or white. You know what I mean? It's like you should be able to do both, because the people who think only street are talking to those really like pencil pushing, nerdy, like not doing it right, unpunk rock, understanding corporate music business people. That's not everybody there. You know what I mean? It's just war, and you want to have as many weapons on you for war. You want the street weapons, and you want the professional weapons, and you just want to slaughter everybody in your path.
And I'll say too, like, being a musician, you can fine tune your art. You know what I mean? Like, you know what you're listening for, and it might make things.
They're not going to change you. You're going to be you. If you're you going into school, they're not going to make you into a robot. They're going to make you just better.
Exactly, and that's what that's exactly what we try to strive for. I'm glad we could definitely do this interview with you guys. Is there anything that you could say for the up-and-comers that are coming through that, you know, stuff like Warped Tour, and like any advice you could give them on how to kind of push in or get their way into something like this?
Real quick, like when you said when you get a degree, it doesn't mean someone's going to hire you. It's totally exactly what it is. It's if you're going to do music, you got to do music 24 hours. It's not like this thing where you like you can't, let's say, you can't work out for an hour to a half an hour and then just go eat donuts all the time. If you only put in like 4 hours of work of music in your career in music a day, all those other hours wasted are just like eating donuts. It's
Yeah.
like you have to do it all the time. It's your new lifestyle. You have to have conversations with your girlfriend or boyfriend of, I'm sorry, I'll put the laptop, I'll stop working. You want to be that obsessed with it. Because the guy who is that obsessed with it is going to beat you.
And it takes a lot. Like I've got, almost 600 hours of intern. Not all of them have been for free, but it's not like I'm getting paid, $1,000 a week. But that's what I think takes it. And I see the kids that come up through it, and you just have the people that complain about, well, I went to school and didn't get a job. It's like, well, what did you do?
Yeah, what did you do?
And for me, my example is I listen to all different types of music all the time.
Yeah.
Like I don't go to the beach, and I find a way to bring. If I have to hang out with my friends that are at the beach, I'm bringing my radio. And the funny thing is, my best friend's like, you're the guy that's like, here, listen to this, and you always have a new song for us to listen to. But it's like that's my life, And I want to experience everything because you can use all that kind of stuff. Like you said, it's got to be a 24-hour job.
Your 20s and 30s are your productive years.
Yeah.
There'll always be parties. There'll always be nights of whatever it is that you want to do. But it's your 20s and 30s that are your productive years, so you should be productive.
And I think that's what puts you aside from, degree or not, puts you aside from the people that really want to do it. And if you don't really want to do it, you're not going to get the job. You know? And it's just like being a doctor. There's only a couple of them.
Yeah.
And they put in probably as much hours as we do. It's just different fields, and they usually all make it because there's only
That's
a
how I
certain
look at
few.
it. I look at it as lawyers and doctors and like even the president. How much time do they put into that? A lot. And if you want to be a professional, you should look at that.
Exactly. We do appreciate it.
It sounds like a cool school.
Yeah.
Start.
Hey, what's up? This is Ryan.
This is Dave from Big D in the kids' table.
It started with the music thing. Not loving what the people sing, just doing our own damn thing. And the scene said, hold up, you 7 ain't right, ain't feeding the people's melodic appetites, but it's all we know. Took it down to the US highways,